So do you want to know how you can expand your business and start making more sales today? Well, I'm going to share with you exactly what you should be doing with your sales force or the people that are handling customers. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me go through Joburg, showing you how beautiful of a place this is, also how family friendly this is. So main thing that I'm not trying, I am doing it. I'm showing you the difference between what media shows about places and what it really looks like living in that place. And most importantly, on top of that, I've been talking to you about success, what it is, and how to get it in the three areas of life that I focus on, which are happiness, health, and wealth. And so let's go ahead and dig into today. And it's talking about business. So if you're a business owner, or if you're even a person that's an employee for a business, you want to pay attention to this video because this can help you not only make more money, but also get a raise. And so before we get into it, remember the first thing is success, and this is defined by Earl Nightingale back in 1956. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I'm not going to be humble about it. There's nothing more worthy to me than being rich, being very, very rich, private jets, everything. So I'm all about business and I'm all about making money and doing it the honest way. And so what gave me the idea of this video was actually walking. I was in the Carlton Center today in Pick and Pay. And, good old South Africa, load shedding hit. And so if you're not familiar with load shedding or if you're not from South Africa, what that means is the government shuts down or the electric company shuts down the power grid in certain areas for anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours, or even longer. And when that happens, it really messes up business. Think about it. The whole world operates on electricity unless you're living in some remote village or you're still an indigenous tribe, which means you can't even watch this video. So even speaking to you about electricity don't even make sense. But the rest of us who are living in a modern world, we need electricity is a necessity just as much as water and food now. We don't talk about it that much, but electricity is one of the biggest things and providers of our life. They make our life very simple. And so when you're a business and you're dependent on electricity and you have interrupts in your power grid like that, it makes you lose a lot of money. And so when you're automatically losing money because of the infrastructure, you have to actually make sure you're not losing money from other avenues because that'll start a domino effect. And that's what can actually tear down a business very fast. And so one of the main ways that you can actually keep customers coming, even when everything around you is not looking great, is a customer experience. Now, this is something most people are not taught. There's very few companies that are taught this. And honestly, unless you're in the United States, going to very particular marketing groups and things like that, it's still not taught there because most people have this entitlement when it comes to a job, and most bosses have an entitlement when it comes to their employees. Like they own each other. Like this, the boss think he own your time, and the employee think, oh well, the job don't own my time right here. I'm gonna do what I want, and that's a conflict. And what it means is you're hurting the customer experience. Believe it or not, most people in this world overpay for products on a regular day basis because it gives them an experience that makes them happy. If you give a person enough rude or bad customer experience, they will cut off your business altogether. And not only are they going to cut off your business altogether, they will make sure to spread the word of marketing that your business is not worth going to. And if you see my videos, I'm very adamant and I'm very upfront and open about it. I don't recommend any person outside of South Africa to shop at ShopRite. It was a horrible customer experience. They treat you rude, they're disrespectful, and there was no reason to go there. Like, even though their prices are cheaper on some of the things that I use, I'm like, why would I go there to be mistreated? I'd rather go pay more money at Woolworths or go to Food Lovers Mart. I literally sometimes go all the way to Pretoria just to buy groceries than I do to walk down the street here to this shop right next to me. Like, we have to start understanding this. It's about culture. And culture means the experience. If you're not providing the proper or the appropriate culture for your customer's experience, they're not going to stay there a long time. This whole thing where people believe, oh, if I build it, they must come. That shit don't fly anymore, yo. Even here in South Africa, Amazon is starting to take over. People don't know that. I guarantee you within about 5 to 10 years, or if not sooner, Amazon is going to be owning most of Take-A-Lot. Because if you look at Take-A-Lot's infrastructure on how they do things, they have it to where it's a mirror of the Amazon infrastructure. There's just a few things that they need to tweak about it. But outside of that, that's going to be the new business model. And the companies that's going to come here, such as your McDonald's and things like that, they are focused on customer experience, the culture of your customer coming through your business. And if you look at McDonald's, they're a very great example. No matter where you go in the world, even when I went to McDonald's in South Korea, when I went to even Burger King in Kuwait and Iraq, all of those places, they're focused on your experience as a customer. How fast did you get your food? Was you happy about your how you were served getting your food? And would you recommend someone else? Because they're using those three parameters, that's how McDonald's can come into any country and they can literally just set up shop and be thriving. And people will come there and overpay for a mediocre hamburger from McDonald's compared to going to somewhere in their local neighborhood. And so, as a business owner, you want to focus on culture. What is the experience that you're bringing your customer to into? Now, the best way to do this, and I have not seen it here so far, maybe it's in other parts of South Africa. And also, before I give that example, give the best way, let me just say this: like, I'm not picking on South Africa. This is just from my experience today. It gave me the idea of having this video. But when I tell you, no matter where I lived in the world, culture is a problem. People do not focus on the customer experience. It's the same way with WhatsApp groups. It's the same way with Facebook groups. It's the same way when anybody builds any community. Most people think it's just about getting money, getting money, getting money. It's about the experience. If you give someone enough of an experience, they will gladly give you money on a weekly, if not monthly basis. And so once we start learning this is the principles of selling, we start realizing, okay, this is how I do business, and you're going to see business change. And so back to the example I was going to give you. One of the best ways to see what your your culture is for your customers, do secret shoppers. You have random people who never come into your store or not in your neighborhood. You pay them or you give them something for their time, gift cards, things like that. And you actually ask them for an honest feedback. Because when you get these honest feedbacks, these are going to show you the gaps in your business that you're not seeing. And this is the key. Like, even with me as an email marketer and all of these different things, one of the reasons why I learned from so many people, I'm doing so many trainings and seminars, is I'm learning the mistakes that they learned. So I don't have to even focus on seeing those mistakes. I'm correcting them right away. But now when you're a physical business, you've been in business for a couple of years, it's not that easy. You can't just go talk to a competitor and be like, hey, man, what are some of the things that your customers are saying that they're not liking here? They're like, oh, you're trying to steal my customers. And so because that's the way people have been taught to think about business and competition, we don't collaborate. And so you need secret shoppers to collaborate with you, to show you and share with you the things that you are not seeing. Like, one of the things that I see here for most of the businesses, most of the owners of businesses, there's so many little gaps they don't see. It becomes a big hurdle. If you have 5 to 10 little gaps of spaces where you're messing up in culture, that becomes a huge possibility of a horrible experience for your customer. But if you maybe have just 1 or 2 gaps where you're lacking things, they'll look over that. Like, I'll tell you straight up, like, I'll give you an example just so you don't think I just pick on Sharp, right? I was in Woolworths last week buying some veggies. And they had an advertisement, 4 different things for, I think, 90 Rand or 100 Rand, not even $10. So because I didn't see everything that was on the advertising, I just grabbed 4 of the things that were on there. And then she was like, oh, you got to get only 1 of each. And I'm like, they're not over there. She's like, no, they're there. I'm like, okay, come show me. And then she was like, oh, no, we're all out. So you just have to buy each one. And I'm like, why am I going to spend extra money when there's a promotion here, and it's your fault as the store to not be stocked up. And instead of going into a debate or getting the manager, because I'm pretty sure I could have got the things using my accent, being American, use the exoticness of it to get what I wanted. I just say, you know what, I don't want it. So I literally spent less money and went to another place and paid more money. Like, we have to focus on these little things. Like, the experience of your customer is what's going to keep them coming or going. One of the other reasons why I use Woolworths and Food Lovers most of the time is it's not like the quality of products are better. Let me just be honest with you. Especially when it comes to canned goods, dry goods, things like that. I actually go to Game. It's a lot cheaper and it's the exact same products. But it's not because of that. The reason why I go there is I don't feel like a thief when I'm leaving the building. Like, do you know how disrespectful it feels for a person who works hard for their money and then they looked at, oh, show me your receipt. Let me open your bag up. Look, do you know how disrespectful that is? That breaks one of the biggest universal laws when it comes to business, the law of non-resistance. You're actually resisting with that person after they spent hard-earned money with you. And here's the thing, like, people who steal, steal. Let me just be very clear with that. People who steal, steal. You can look a mile, you can see a person a mile away who steals. Someone who is just tired, they had a hard day at work, they coming in just needing to buy groceries for their family. They look nothing like a person that steals. Nothing like it. And contrary to popular belief here in South Africa, even South America and Central America, not that many people steal anymore. And if you want to really be honest, most of the people that are doing stealing is little petty theft. And we're talking about maybe a little kid took something and the mom didn't catch it. I see that every day here. Every day when I'm in a supermarket, I see a little kid grabbing something, parents not paying attention, and it just goes right by. And also, I see that a lot of women here steal. People don't want to talk about these things, but like, we have to start being honest about it as a business. And if you're a business owner, you need to know who are the people that are actually possibly committing crimes. Like, you do need to know that you don't treat everybody like a criminal. You must treat everybody as someone who is a law-abiding citizen, but most importantly, someone who is actually coming in there with legit business and they just want to invest into your company. Meaning, if they're buying products, if they're buying a service, that's them investing their money into you. And you have to start looking at it from an investment. Now, from the employee side, like, I want you to look at it from this perspective. And this is why collaboration is key. It's not about competition anymore. Yes, the boss is going to make the most money. He's supposed to make the most money. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have a job. So get that part out of your head. However, if you want to be able to earn more money, how are you providing service for that business? How are you helping retain customers for that business? I can tell you this is one thing that I've seen in Johannesburg. Customer retention is not something that's taught. People do not focus on customer retention. So because of that, you as an employee, let's say if you provide an excellent service, an excellent customer experience for someone, and they keep coming back to that area because they like your service, now you have some leverage to where you can be like, look, man, I see, I'm doing this, I'm getting these much compliments, this and this. Can I get a raise? This is how you get more money. Like, the biggest, let me see, how can I say this correctly? Because I don't want to curse. The biggest lie and BS we have all been taught is putting in the time, someone's supposed to just pay us more money. No one owes you nothing. If you sit at a dead end job for 30 years of your life, and then you're still making minimum wage like a lot of people in the United States do, that's not that company's problem. That's your problem. You are not providing service to where that company even sees value in you. And this is the problem where a lot of employees mess up. The company doesn't owe you anything. And I'm going to be very clear with you on this. There are a lot of people in this world that will be fighting for some of the jobs that people do. I remember when my brother was talking to me a couple of years ago. Oh man, the Mexicans taking all the jobs in Texas, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, What job has a Mexican took from you? Oh, well, the news, the media. And I'm like, exactly. They're filling jobs that nobody wants to do. And it goes for like that in every country. Like every country that I've been to, from a business perspective, they talk about how immigrants are the worst. However, they're not talking about how these immigrants are filling low paying jobs that the regular people don't want to do and they shouldn't have to do. Like, let's just be real. Johannesburg, the city of gold, there's so many gold mines, there's so many mineral mines in this country. Like, really think about it. Why is any native South African born person even working? You should want nothing but immigrants here working for you. Y'all should be getting residual incomes, residual checks off of all the resources come here. Start thinking about that instead of all these foreign white owners who have these their kids are heirs to gold mines in this country and stuff. Why aren't your kids getting none of that? Start focusing on the real problems. Because of the problems that we've been taught to focus on, we're not seeing the real problems that we're actually facing in this world. And one of the biggest problems that we're facing in this world is most of this money that is going and circulating throughout the world should not be controlled by these big corporations anymore. All of that stuff was built off of blood and the death of people. So as a business, why are we continuing this systematic issues? Start focusing on culture. Start focusing on customer experience. As an employee, start focusing on doing the best you can do. Be of service. How can you bring more money into this company? If you start showing yourself a value, and as a business, you start showing you value your customers, you're not going to have a problem making money. It doesn't matter if there's another pandemic, if there's electricity issue, none of those things matter. People want to feel respected, and they just want to feel not only respected, but they just want to feel, people want to be happy. People want to be happy. And the more you piss them off or make them angry, they're just not going to spend money with you. I can tell you right now, we left Pick and Pay this just now because both of the people, they were just rude. Oh, I'm not open. Oh, I'm not open. Like, so address somewhere where they can go. Like, how hard is that to be of service? No one's asking you to do hula hoops, eat fire, swallow a sword. It's just talking to a person like a fucking human being, yo. That's what it means to provide culture. Act like a fucking human being and put yourself in their shoes. And if you still say like, it don't matter, look at your bank account. I'm sure that don't matter either. And so if you like this type of content, hit the like button. If you want to know more about this stuff, make sure you subscribe so you can see videos that I put up daily. And also share this with others. Like I said, collaboration is key. If you know someone who owns a business, share this video with them. You never know how much value this could help them or how this could help them jump to the next hurdle that they've been stuck at, jump over the next hurdle that they've been stuck at in business. And so just remember, I'm Jason. And remember, success is simple once you know how.